If you've ever noticed that some outfits look effortlessly expensive even when they're simple, and others just look like clothes. The difference usually isn't the brand, the trend, or even the price. It's structure and proportion. Today I want to walk you through a simple, repeatable formula that you can apply to almost anything in your closet. And instead of just explaining it conceptually, we're going to build a few outfits step by step so you can see how it works in real time. Once you understand this process, getting dressed becomes intentional instead of frustrating. The formula has 3 parts: anchor, balance, refine. First, you anchor the outfit with structure. Then you balance the proportions. And finally, you refine it with one intentional finishing detail. Let's walk through how that actually works. Let's start with wide leg trousers because this is where proportion mistakes happen most often. When you choose a tailored wide leg trouser, that piece already provides structure. The fabric holds its shape, the waistband is defined, and the line of the leg is intentional. Now here's where balance matters. If you pair that structured trouser with an oversized, untucked sweater, the silhouette can start to feel heavy. The volume on top competes with the volume on the bottom, and visually the body becomes one continuous shape. Now let's work with a flowing midi skirt. A skirt like this has movement and softness, which is beautiful, but softness needs something to ground it. In this case, the skirt might not be the anchor. The structure may need to come from a tailored blazer, a defined waistband, or even a more structured top. If you pair a flowing skirt with a loose draped top and no waist definition, the silhouette becomes undefined. It's not wrong, it just lacks intention. Instead, try a fitted blouse, or gently define the waist with a tuck or belt. Now the softness of the skirt feels elegant instead of shapeless. To refine it, choose a sleek shoe that elongates the leg line instead of cutting it off visually. Now the movement of the skirt looks graceful and balanced. That's proportion working for you instead of against you. Now let's use something almost everyone owns: straight leg jeans. Denim can act as structure if the cut is clean and the fabric holds its shape. If you pair those jeans with a relaxed blouse, you'll want to create balance, maybe by slightly defining the waist or layering something tailored on top. If the top is already fitted, and you have flexibility to introduce structure somewhere else, like a blazer or a more substantial shoe. And then comes refinement: a slim belt, a structured bag, a sleek loafer instead of a worn sneaker. Each of those details signals intention. And intention is what separates style from dressed. Here's where most people go wrong. They anchor and balance, but forget to refine. Or they add a finishing detail, but the proportions underneath still feel off. The formula only works if all 3 elements are present. Structure gives direction, proportion creates harmony, refinement signals intention. Remove one and something starts to feel incomplete. So the next time you get dressed, instead of second guessing everything, just slow down and run your outfit through the formula. First, anchor it with something structured. Then balance the proportions so the silhouette feels intentional. And finally, refine it with one detail that signals you meant to style it that way. That's it. You don't need more clothes. You need a process. And once you start thinking in terms of structure and proportion instead of trends, your wardrobe begins to feel calm, cohesive, and much more expensive. In the next video, we'll take this formula even further and look at how to apply it specifically for seasonal transitions, because that's where proportion mistakes show up the most. If you're building a more intentional wardrobe and you want clear, repeatable style systems, make sure you're subscribed. I'll see you in the next one.